back to Dream Carriage, where stories drift like quiet footsteps through still places, and the world softens one breath at a time. I'm Alara, your narrator, and I'm so glad you're here. Tonight we'll spend a quiet afternoon, one that slowly folds into early evening, wandering through the wide, hushed halls of an art museum. There's no rush, no noise, just light against canvas, the soft echo of shoes on polished floors, and rooms filled with stillness, shadow, and color. This is not a story of action. It's a story of presence, of being with beauty, not to understand it, but to rest in it. We'll enter the museum just after lunch, when the light outside is bright but mellow, and the sun casts long rectangles across the floor through high windows. The city remains behind, muffled and distant. Here, the air is cool and quiet. The walls are tall and white, and each room waits like a breath held gently. You won't need to speak. You won't need to read the labels. All that's asked of you is to move slowly from one painting to the next, to listen with your eyes, and to let your thoughts dissolve into brushstrokes, into shadow, into space. Let this be a different kind of afternoon, one where time does not follow you, but fades quietly behind. Before we step through the museum doors, let's allow your body and mind to quiet, to slow, to soften, so that when you enter that quiet space, it feels like you've already been there for hours. Start by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let the air rise gently into your chest, your shoulders, your neck, and now exhale, long and smooth, through your mouth, like a slow curtain lowering over a bright window. Feel your shoulders fall. Let the muscles around your jaw unclench. Let your eyes soften, even if they stay open. Again, inhale, this time even slower. Imagine that breath carrying with it the hush of tall ceilings, cool air, distant light, and exhale, releasing whatever noise remains from your day. Let your breath become the quietest sound you know. Now bring your attention to the crown of your head. Imagine a weightless calm settling there, like afternoon light resting on stone. It moves downward, easing your forehead, softening your temples, relaxing the space between your brows. Your eyelids feel heavier now, not from fatigue, but from quiet. Your cheeks loosen, your lips part slightly, and your breath moves freely, slowly. Let that calm move through your neck and down into your shoulders. They drop with your next exhale, no longer holding anything. Your arms feel looser now, resting at your sides or across your lap. Your hands open gently, your fingers uncurl, like they've let go of something you forgot you were holding. Your chest rises and falls, each breath a soft step forward into stillness. Your ribs expand with ease, your belly relaxes. The air feels cooler now, as if it's already museum air, filtered, slow, touched by echo. Now your hips, your legs, your thighs sink deeper into the surface beneath you. Your calves lengthen. Your ankles grow still. Your feet planted, supported, no longer asked to move. You are not walking yet, but your whole body is arriving. Outside, the city hums faintly, but inside, in this breath, you are already surrounded by silence. White walls, warm light, open space. The first room waits. The museum stands at the end of a quiet street, its stone facade softened by years of light and time. Tall windows reflect the pale sky above, their glass slightly frosted with age. A low flight of steps leads to the entrance. Broad wooden doors with brass handles that have been polished smooth by countless quiet hands. As you approach, the noise of the city fades behind you. Your footsteps grow slower. There is no rush here, no crowd, only the cool hush of shade, the click of your shoes on stone, and the promise of stillness behind the doors. You step inside. The light changes instantly. It becomes quieter, dimmer, cooler, as if the building itself has taken a breath and exhaled everything loud. The lobby is wide and uncluttered, pale stone underfoot, clean white walls that stretch upward into high arching ceilings. A skylight above lets in natural light, softened by translucent glass, so that nothing feels harsh, only calm. Each corner is touched by shadow, but none of it feels hidden. A coat check to your left, a small bench to your right, a sign pointing toward the galleries ahead. You begin to walk. The air is different here, filtered, still, faintly scented with wood polish and quiet. You pass through a wide doorway into the first room. It opens like a cathedral. Tall ceilings, wood floors that glow under the soft spill of light, and walls lined with art. The paintings are spaced with intention, never crowding, each one with its own space to breathe. The light is gentle, spotlights on canvas, warm ambient glow on the floor. Reflections flicker across frames and glass, like the museum is slowly blinking. You hear your footsteps, soft but present, as they touch the polished floor. The sound is not disruptive but reassuring, like you belong here, like everything moves slowly, and you are allowed to match its pace. There are a few other visitors, but they move like you, quiet, respectful, as though the building itself had lowered its voice. You exhale, and it sounds louder than anything else in the room. Then you take another step, and the first painting meets your gaze. You stand before the first painting, a large canvas surrounded by a gilded frame. The gold aged to a soft bronze in the museum light. The image before you is still, silent, yet it draws you in, as though something is moving just beneath the surface. You don't read the plaque. You don't need to. The painting speaks in a language beyond words, through brushstroke and balance, through light and absence, through color that feels like memory. There are trees here, caught in autumn's golden hush. A figure walks down a winding path, their coat and in the corner, a soft sky, muted and gray, the kind of sky that carries rain without ever releasing it. You don't study the scene, you rest inside it, letting your eyes soften, letting the boundaries between your breath and the brushstroke begin to blur. A quiet settles more deeply in your chest. Behind you, someone's footsteps pass, slow and careful, then fade again. The floor creaks once, and then falls silent. You move to the next room. This space is smaller, more intimate, the ceiling lower, the light warmer. The paintings here are smaller too, intimate portraits, delicate still lifes, colors held close to the canvas. Everything feels closer to the heart. One piece catches your eye, a glass of water on a table. Just that, but the light held in the water is so perfectly rendered, so tenderly placed, that you feel your breath catch. The rim of the glass reflects a window unseen, a hint of morning, and suddenly, you are not just looking at a glass. You are remembering quiet breakfasts, slow mornings, time stretched across the silence. You feel your shoulders drop again. It's as though the art itself is unraveling something inside you. Something tight, something tired, and in its place, stillness begins to settle. You continue walking. Room after room unfolds around you. Not quickly, not memorably, but gently, like a dream you don't need to hold on to in order to feel its comfort. The echo of your steps grows quieter, not because you are walking softer, but because your whole body has begun to slow. You follow the quiet curve of the hallway into another wing, this one quieter still, as if the very air has learned to pause. The gallery here is wider, more open, with long wooden benches placed thoughtfully throughout the room. Above, a skylight lets in softened daylight that drapes across the walls in long, slow rectangles. It doesn't spotlight, it breathes. The paintings here are larger, landscapes mostly, vast skies, tall grasses, mountains resting against clouds. Each one holds its own kind of silence. You stop in front of one, a painting of an empty field at dusk. The sky is thick with deep blue. In the distance, a single window glows from a farmhouse, nearly swallowed by trees. There are no people, no movement, just the presence of space. You sit. The bench beneath you creaks slightly, but the sound feels natural, like part of the museum's language. The wood is smooth and cool beneath your hands. You set them on either side of you, palms down, grounding yourself into the moment. Your breath matches the stillness of the room. Inhale, slow and steady. Exhale, softer, deeper. No rush, no next. Just now, you let your gaze drift, not just at the canvas, but around the room. A quiet sculpture of a bird in flight rests by a window. Its wings are outstretched, but not straining, just open, just present. Nearby, a painting of a forest after rain. The leaves glisten slightly in the painted light, and you can almost hear the soft drip of water on bark. The hum of the museum's air system fades into the background. Somewhere a door latches gently. Another pair of footsteps echo faintly and are gone. You notice your shoulders again, and how low they've settled. You hadn't realized how tightly you were holding yourself, even in rest. But now, something deeper is letting go. The art is no longer something to view. It has become something to lean into, to fold inside of. Time here is soft around the edges. Each minute stretches. Each breath feels like a small surrender. And your eyes, though open, begin to feel heavy. Not from effort, but from ease. You stay on the bench for a long while, not counting time, just letting it unfold. Around you, the museum remains hushed. The air carries a warmth that doesn't come from heat, but from space. Space that asks for nothing, holds everything, and allows you to rest within it. Your eyes drift across the far wall. There, a single painting hangs alone, smaller than the rest, framed in simple wood. You rise slowly, legs moving without hurry, and step toward it. The canvas is nearly bare. The chair, empty, a single shaft of light through a window, dust floating midair, caught in the beam. The room itself is quiet, even in paint. It's the kind of image that doesn't speak, but listens. You stand in front of it for a long time, not analyzing, not interpreting, only receiving. The longer you stay, the more it feels as though you've been in that painted room before. Perhaps not exactly, but in some memory, some echo, the hush, the warmth, the waiting. You close your eyes, and in that moment, something inside you releases entirely. Not with drama, not with awareness, just a slow drift, like dust in afternoon light, like thought turning into breath, like sound becoming silence. When you open your eyes again, the room is unchanged, but your gaze is softer. The edges blur. You notice the weight of your body, the ease of your stance. You notice how deeply your chest rises and falls. You turn away from the painting and make your way toward the end of the corridor, where a final bench rests beneath a tall arched window. You sit again, this time more fully. Your back meets the wood. Your arms fold across your lap. Your eyes begin to close, not because you intend to sleep, but because there is simply nothing left to see. The light through the window is lower now, warmer. The day outside is drifting toward dusk, and inside you, something quieter than thought begins to grow. A stillness, a softness, the beginning of sleep. The bench cradles you now, as though it was always meant for this. You sit, not upright, not slouched, just at rest. The wood beneath you has grown warmer, or perhaps you have grown still enough to feel it. Outside the tall arched window, the sky is deepened into a quiet gold, brushed with the faintest gray, where evening begins. The light no longer casts, it lingers, pooling gently on the floor in long, soft shapes. The air is unmoving, as if the museum itself is exhaling, slowly, silently. Your eyes have closed completely now, not in decision, in surrender. You hear nothing distinct, only the hush, the kind of hush that has texture, that settles around the body like a shawl, that presses lightly on your shoulders like a friend's hand. A distant echo of footsteps fades down a hallway you are no longer following. The sound of the city has disappeared entirely. All that remains is breath, the faint creak of wood, and the vast, held quiet. You are not thinking about paintings anymore. You are not remembering the rooms, or the bath, or the windows. You are no longer even sitting in the museum. Not really. You are floating now. Within stillness, within light, within sleep. And the world no longer needs to be understood. It only needs to be allowed to unfold around you like a silent gallery, room by room, thought by thought, until even your name dissolves into quiet. Let yourself go. Let the hush carry you. Let the walls soften. The bench become weightless. The air grow deeper. You are safe. You are still. And sleep is already here.